Morning. Is it morning? Yeah, it is. It's 10 a.m. here, but it doesn't mean it's morning at home, but it is what it is, hey? Morning. Welcome back. I can't remember the last time I posted on here. I feel like it was about a fucking week and a half ago, but I don't think it was. I think it was like maybe 5 days ago. I could be wrong. And I'm really hoping, I'm manifesting the fact that this video is going to actually record, because the last 3 times that I want to record, it's been like, sorry, your iPhone storage is full. Sorry, Siri, get it together. Is all I have to say to that. Anyway, I want to quickly talk about what I've been experiencing the last week and a half, and I'm sort of putting it in the past tense because I've definitely moved through the energy that I've needed to move through in the last week and a half, which hasn't, I won't lie, it hasn't been easy, but it's been an experience that I've learned a lot from. So last video that I posted, I felt like I was in a void, and the void being different to what I had experienced in the past, just in the fact that I couldn't see the light beyond the void at the time that I was experiencing it. And previous to that experience itself, I had been working with the elements of surrender and the frequencies that you feel, or that the body can feel, and particularly mine, when I feel the elements of surrender. And so I experienced that while I was at my homestay my organic farm stay up north, and I came back here with a sense of really looking at my reality in a different way. And when that happened, it wasn't that I didn't know how to identify with my reality, it was just more that I was seeing it or perceiving it in a different way than I had previously. Which was, it felt more daunting than it did inviting at the time, because the frequencies that I was feeling and everything that was like coming up for me was very, I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like it was neutral, but I was also like, wait, what now? Kind of thing. And then as the week progressed, I lost a loved one earlier this week, Sunday. And that experience itself took me to a different element of surrender in itself, but also, oh, beautiful butterfly. But also had me feeling that I just needed to let go. And not let go of what I was experiencing, but in a way, yes, at the same time, and kind of melt into what was present for me and what was showing up for me in the sense of my reality. And so one thing that I've been doing over the course of the last, I would say week and a half, almost 2 weeks now, and it's probably added to the fact that I was feeling the void, was I've been identifying patterns in my own mental stream of thoughts that don't resonate anymore with the person that I'm becoming and the person that I am now. So you can probably see over the course of my YouTube channel that I've been doing a bit of internal work. And sometimes I don't really talk about the internal work that I do, but I feel like this is a really important one, in that it really reshapes the way that you identify with yourself, reshapes the way that you identify with your mind, and then what comes of that. And I'm going to try and give you an example. I can't be specific because I can't remember the exact pattern that I recognised, but I was in the pool the other day, it was last week, and I was having some thoughts, working with a bit of frequency, and as I was adjusting to a new frequency, I was having these thoughts of like an older version of me that didn't actually really identify with that. It was just a pattern of thought that was popping in to say, hey, remember me? And I was like, that thought pattern, I don't really identify with that, nor does it make me feel good in the frequencies that I'm trying to accommodate for myself. So do I want to keep thinking like that? And the answer was no. And so I've been in the process of doing that over and over again. Every time that I pick up a different pattern that I'm mentally stimulated by, in my mental stream of thought, and eliminating those in the process. So as weird as it sounds, I'm going to tell you how I do it, or how I've been doing it. And it's been identifying the thought, and then visually here, I take that thought, I scribble it out with pen and go, we're rewriting that. That's the idea of the scribble of the pen. And then I will set it on fire and put it in a bin mentally. And so for me, what that has been doing, a case of doing that over and over again, has been clearing my subconscious mind to really identify my thought patterns with how I want to feel, instead of allowing my subconscious mind to filter through to my conscious mind with old programs that I had experienced in the past, based on past experience, past thought, past accumulation of emotional experiences and all the rest. And so that's been interesting, but I think it added to the void in the sense that I was stripping away so much subconscious patterning for myself that it left me in that butterfly just keeps hanging. It left me in a state of being able to relay the foundation of the way that my mind identifies with my own thoughts. But also clearing them has left space for me to recode the experience that I do want to have. And so for a while there, the void that I experienced left me just like, I want to almost say like it was leveling me out a little bit. And the void for me wasn't, in previous experiences, the void for me has been like quite a daunting place, and like a really fearful place, I want to say, more so than anything, because I did feel a little bit of daunting, but I think that was old programming from my previous experiences with the being in the void. But this particular void was calm, and I was surrendered to it, but it was just it was very different to what I had experienced in the past. And then yesterday I was like, okay, I think I'm done with the void. And luckily enough for us humans, we have the ability to turn off and turn on programs that we are experiencing. And so I was like, okay, I have learnt enough from the void. I have understood the void enough, and I've worked through enough mental programming and subconscious programming for the moment. And I didn't need to keep on trying to dig up more subconscious thought that was laying there, because to be honest, I wasn't really finding much more. And it's not to say that I won't find more in the future, and I will, I can guarantee you it. But it was more just me needing to realign myself and move forward. So yesterday I consciously took myself out of the void. And the way that I do that is through regulation. And one of my biggest ways of regulation is my showers. It sounds weird. And it's how I kind of realign myself with the frequencies that I do want to feel, and re-embody them by feeling them. So I get in the shower, I listen to music, I move my body, I vocalize whatever I'm feeling, and safely exit the void, knowing that I may re-enter it in time, and I can guarantee you I will re-enter it in time. But for right now, I'm okay with being done, and moving back into my experience with the learnings and experience that I did have, as that restructures my reality in a way. So it was interesting. It was really interesting, and I learned a lot about myself and about the way that we kind of have the patterns in our mind that just pop up out of nowhere, even though that's sometimes not the way that the self wants to identify. And so I think my biggest takeaway from being in the void was being able to eliminate a few of the things that my mind identified with, because it was recurrent, it was constantly on cycle, and realign myself with the self in terms of how I want to feel and how I really truly perceive my reality to be, in a lighter frequency that feels better to my body. I hope that makes sense. I just rambled for like 10 minutes. And so, yeah, it's been interesting. I really learnt that sometimes we have recurrent thoughts in our minds that are only subject to impressions that we've felt within our experience, and mental chatter that we've created within experiences that haven't been great for us, and they then sit in the subconscious mind and filter through to the conscious mind when we experience things that have made us feel less than. And so for me, I don't want to constantly base my current experience on previous experience. I want to experience my current experience with current energy, and not rely on my subconscious mind to dictate how I should be feeling in my current experience, because that's not how it should be. It should be that my current conscious mind is dictating and allowing my current reality to dictate how I feel, and my inner energy to project that out as well. So I think it's just more so coming into alignment. Wow, that is beautiful. It's just coming into alignment more so with the truest version of myself, but my current way of being, and eliminating the elements that don't work for me anymore. Yeah. So that's been my void. And yeah, we've consciously exited the void. I fully understand why I experienced it, how I experienced it, and the takeaways from that. And I know that it won't be the last void that I enter. I know that. But right now, I'm going to choose to experience more of life with the learnings of what I've just experienced,